Hi, good evening. Welcome to Sports Today. You are live with me, Rajesh Gupta. Well, what a cracker of a game that one was between India and Sri Lanka. India coming back from nowhere to seal the series with a thrilling three-wicket victory over the Sri Lankans in the second ODI in Colombo, chasing 276. India didn't get off to a great start. They lost Prithvi Shaw early. They lost Ishan Kishan early. And of course, remember Prithvi Shaw and Ishan Kishan were the fulcrum of that victory over Sri Lanka in the first ODI a couple of days back. But the both of them fell cheaply. There was some incisive bowling from the Sri Lankan new bowlers and Kasum Rajita, Dushmanta Chamira. They were brilliant up front, and of course, one in the Hasaranga was so good through the game. India were really feeling the heat at one point. Shikhar Dhawan had got off to a flyer, but then he was pegged back and he fell for 29 of 38 balls. Then that game started changing. It was a game of two halves really. In the first half of the Indian innings, Sri Lanka attacked. They were so aggressive. They got those two early wickets, then got rid of Shikhar Dhawan, and then there was this crucial partnership. Before we come and talk more about Deepak Chahar, there was this crucial partnership between Manish Pandey and Surya Kumar Yadav that really brought that Indian innings back on track. And the other important thing to note was that the Indian run rate never really, you know, it never really lagged behind, thanks to that quick start from Dhawan initially, and then that partnership between Manish Pandey and Surya Kumar Yadav. Manish Pandey was unfortunately run out for 37. Surya Kumar Yadav, a stroke-filled half century, his first in one internationals. He got some quick runs in that first game as well, but after that Manish Pandey ran out, there was some other partnership that blossomed between Surya Kumar Yadav and Krunal Pandya. Krunal Pandya came in and scored some quick runs, 37. Hardik Pandya before him getting out for a duck, but Krunal Pandya's innings of 35, 30 odd proved to be very, very crucial as well. That there were some important contributions. However, things looked really, really dark for the Indians at two stages: 160 for six when Surya Kumar Yadav got out, and then 193 for seven when a well set Krunal Pandya was dismissed. But by then, it was up to Deepak Chahar and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and uh, you wouldn't have given them too much of a chance there. For some reason, somebody there in the dressing room thought Deepak Chahar was uh, better suited to score these crucial runs ahead of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Bhuvneshwar Kumar is, of course, already an established lower order batsman. He's delivered in at some crucial junctures for India over the years. But Deepak Chahar, an unbeaten 69 of about 82 balls, and he was just so calm, so level-headed. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar at the other end did not try anything heroic. He was happy to let Deepak Chahar do the bulk of the job. He was just happy to let his younger colleague do what he continued to do. And man of the match award hasn't been announced yet, but there's no price for guessing. It'll be Deepak Chahar for sure. With he also took two wickets while India were bowling, and then those unbeaten 69 runs. What a knock that was! They were under pressure. India were under pressure. Um, at this stage. 193 for seven when these two came together, Deepak Chahar and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. But he just turned the game on its head. Did feel for the Sri Lankans though. They started off, like I said, they started off so well. They put the new ball bowlers put the Indians under pressure. There was some incisive bowling. Shikhar Dhawan was tested. Then Hasaranga, the leg spinner, he was just outstanding. 3 for 37 of his 10 overs. Sri Lanka got him on towards the end of the Indian innings. It was a gamble, and it almost seemed like it paid off, didn't it? Where there was that mistimed shot from Deepak Chahar, didn't quite carry to the fielder in the deep. But kudos to Deepak Chahar for that innings. Just calm, composed, and he did not try anything silly at the end and ensured India got home with 5 balls to spare, with 3 wickets in hand. It was a contrasting victory. You look back at the first ODI, it was emphatic that victory. India were chasing 260 odd. Aggressive start from Shikhar Dhawan, aggressive start from Prithvi Shaw, and a very, very quick half century, rapid half century from Ishan Kishan. Shikhar Dhawan, of course, steered that chase. He oversaw that run chase. And Surya Kumar Yadav and Manish Pandey, they all scored some runs around him. But this was completely different. The top order had been dismissed very, very quickly. The informed men had returned to the pavilion at 193 for 7, chasing 276. It never really looked like Sri Lanka would be left with sulking faces at the end. But Mickey Arthur, the Sri Lankan coach, was livid with some of the fielding efforts from his boys, and by the time India had sealed victory, he was just absolutely furious. He was so angry, and I'm sure there'll be some dressing down there. The dressing room, the coach certainly will have a few words to say to his players. They came so close. India haven't lost to Sri Lanka and ODI in Colombo for about 12 years, and the last time India lost to Sri Lanka and ODI was back in 2017. It's about almost 4 years ago. So there was plenty to play for Sri Lanka. But now India have won this game. They've sealed the series, and everybody has chipped in right through these two ODIs. You had the top order the other night, and then Deepak Chahar with his batting. Of course, he was also among the wickets tonight as well. So the very, very happy night for him. And Rahul Dravid, there, the Indian coach, was another contrasting picture. He was calm, quiet. You saw he came down from the dressing room to the player gallery to the hut, and he spoke to Rahul Chahar, Deepak's cousin, and passed on some instruction, which Rahul went and obediently passed on to Deepak Chahar. And from what it looked like, Rahul Dravid must have told them to just keep calm and just keep stroking the ball, not do anything outrageous, not go for the big shots, not go for glory, and just keep their calm, keep knocking the ball around. Because by the time Rahul Dravid came and spoke to Rahul Chahar, it was India needed about 30 odd deliveries at a run a ball. So that was just absolutely brilliant to watch. If you're an Indian cricket fan, if you like watching good cricket, even then, even if you're not a fan of Indian cricket, that was just something remarkable to watch. Sachin Chaudhary, well played. Deepak, absolutely. Surya Kumar Yadav and Kunal, absolutely. All of them. Deepak Chahar there uh, carried the bulk of the scoring towards the end, but you cannot forget Surya Kumar Yadav's half century and Kunal Pandya's runs as well. Briganka Saha saying players like Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur, and Washington Sundar will be key in the T20 World Cup because of the wonderful batting caliber, wonderful batting from Chahar. You could have one or two of them actually making an impact and looking for probably getting him to the squad as well. This was just remarkable batting, and that Reganka mentioned Washington Sundar and Shardul Thakur, obviously referring to that Brisbane Test match with that partnership where they scored those crucial runs. And of course, Washington Sundar was also involved in a very, very important partnership in the Brisbane Test in the second innings when India were chasing all those runs, and as well as his runs in India against England in that Test series. Avinash Avi, Krunal Pandya treated Deepak Chahar as a tail end and denied some more singles. Well, look, at that stage, Krunal Pandya was the more senior batsman, and he had to take the onus. And I thought what he did was right when he was trying to milk more of the strike at one point because the onus was on him coming in at that position at number 7. So that was, I think, the right thing to do when you're looking to do that. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar let Deepak Chahar take more of the strike, even despite the fact that he's a senior pro when it comes to the two of them. He's been around. Bhuvneshwar has been around for a few years, and he has contributed with the bat pretty significantly. Well, that's that then. Colombo, the second ODI, India defeats Sri Lanka by 3 wickets, and with only 5 deliveries to spare, it was a complete thriller. It was a complete nail biting of a contest. At one stage, it was India were down and out. It looked like there were some dejected faces in the Indian dressing room. Shikhar Dhawan was visibly uh, upset. He was, you couldn't see the smile on his face there. There were some pensive looks in the Indian dressing room, but well, Deepak Chahar turned it all around. And Rakshit Kaul saying the biggest strength of Deepak Chahar was how cool he was under pressure and paced his innings perfectly. Absolutely couldn't agree more with you, Rakshit. It's just fantastic to watch these kind of innings and the kind of young players. They just come in, they're so fearless, and they can just take the game out of any corner and deliver for the team. Can we consider Deepak Chahar as an all-rounder now? Tough competition for Hardik. Virendra Singh is asking. Well, again, when you're looking at these competition, at competitions like this, it's over a fairly significant period that you look at such comparisons. Well, Hardik Pandya, again, his bowling form has his the fact that his bowling fitness has been a concern for some time now. He's just starting to bowl. It's good to see him bowl 4 overs in these ODIs. He batted after a long time, got out for a duck. You wouldn't really want to draw these comparisons right away. It's good. It's one, instead of comparisons, it's just good to see how many players are stepping in and filling in those shoes and delivering under pressure and delivering so consistently. Some of them are delivering so consistently. You look at someone like Surya Kumar Yadav, great start to his T20I career, and again, a great start to his ODI career, 30 odd runs in the first game, unbeaten, and then these crucial 53 runs, absolutely crucial to India's victory tonight. Krunal Pandya, again, he got off to a sensational start to his ODI career, again, getting some very important runs tonight. And Deepak Chahar, well, the night truly belonged to him. 2 wickets for 53 of his 8 overs and an unbeaten 69 there in a big, big partnership there with Bhuvneshwar Kumar. These two guys came together at 193 for 7 in the 36th over, and they batted 14 overs to get India over the line. 3 wickets, India won by 3 wickets then with 5 balls remaining. Heartbreak for Sri Lanka. You'd feel for Sri Lanka. You'd actually, it's difficult to sum it. It would be difficult to sum it up for the Sri Lankans, but they made mistakes. They were a little lethargic on the field. Was it the pressure? Uh, was it tension? Was it fear? They came so close to beat India. You wouldn't know. Vikal Bhatia is asking, don't you think playing Hardik Pandya is getting useless, not proper batsman and can't ball properly? Again, Vikal, with due respect, I think that's a little harsh for someone like Hardik Pandya. He has delivered in the past. He's gone through some physical problems. There were some fitness issues which he's addressed. He's obviously had his back what had been troubling him for a while, and it happens when you're playing a very high adrenaline driven sport. So you'd have to give him some time and hope that he turns it around. And look, he's delivered. He's delivered with the bat. You look back at the Australia series, the shorter format series. He was absolutely brilliant with the bat. He was batting in international cricket after a long time, so you've got to give him that bit of leeway. He's one of the most destructive lower order batsmen in the shorter format. So that's something that you really want to watch and see how Hardik Pandya pulls up with his bowling performances. How many overs he's bowling. That will be that's something the Indian team would be looking very, very closely at. Buddhadev Mandal is asking Shardul Chahar, Bhuvi, very handy with the bat. Absolutely very handy with the bat. And that's so important because you want your lower orders to score runs for you. You've seen that in the test matches sometimes in the shorter formats as well, where the lower order has struggled to score runs. That was what we were talking about in sports today after the WTC final as well. The lower order also needs to get those runs regularly. But you wouldn't this one you wouldn't have expected an unbeaten 69 and a big partnership under pressure. These partnerships don't happen every day. These innings don't happen every day. But yes, that's why the likes of Shardul Chahar, Bhuvneshwar, Washington Sundar, that's so important that they get you those runs and they get and bat with such panache and with such flair. It was just absolutely brilliant to see. Well, that's that then from Colombo from the second for the second ODI. That's the update. India have defeated Sri Lanka by 3 wickets with 5 balls to spare. Deepak Chahar has been named man of the match for his all-round performances. For his all-round performance, an unbeaten 69, 2 wickets as well. Well, it's just absolutely stolen game. Before I go, I'll take one more, a couple more. What, why, and how? Okay, is asking Indian depth in batting is amazing, even in the second considered team not beat team. Well, yes, it's very impressive this batting. That not just the batting, but if you also look at the bowling lineup, it's the kind of bowlers India have lined up. It's so impressive to watch. Buddhadev Mandal, do you think there will be any change in the playing 11 in the next match? There could be. Sanju Samson is fit, so they might just want to have a look in and see whether Sanju Samson, it will be interesting to see whether Sanju Samson gets a look in as well. Deepak Chahar is in the squad. He's filled in as a substitute fielder the last couple of in these two first ODIs, the two ODIs here. So, well, one what to wait and watch whether Deepak Chahar gets a game in the third and final ODI. Now, whether India have sealed the series or will they be around in the playing 11 in the T20Is. I remember there are three T20 internationals as well to be played after this. Well, that's all that I have for you. That's all that we have for you for now. Do subscribe to Sports Today. There's a lot happening, as you can see. Cricket, the Olympics. We're building up to the Olympics. Boria Mujumdar is already in Tokyo. So Sports Today will be in Tokyo throughout the Olympics to bring you the absolute best coverage from the games, exclusive interviews, breaking news, analysis, and whatnot. So there'll be plenty of action lined up on Sports Today. So do subscribe to the channel and support us. And we promise to bring you some really amazing, in-depth sports content. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a very good night.